You're listening to the Bearded Theologians podcast hosted by Zach Bechtold and Matt Franks. If you'd like to find out more about the Bearded Theologians, you can go online at beardedtheologians.com, where you'll find all of our past podcasts and other blog posts that we have up, along with some other items that you can purchase to help support the Beardcast. So we hope you enjoy listening to this week's show. You're listening to the Bearded Theologians podcast hosted by Matt Franks
and Zach Bechtold.
So this week on the Bearded Theologians, we're about ready to kick off into 2019. This was the last month of December. And with that in mind, thinking about the new year, we wanted to kind of reflect on the question on how to start the new year well. And so, Zach, as you prepare yourself for the new year, what's kind of some advice and things that you that kind of stir up within you as you think about that?
You know, the new year is one of those things where we're always gung-ho of, 2018 was this, and we're going to do this in 2019. We're going to exercise, we're going to read, we're going to pray, we're going to do all of these things. And typically by Valentine's Day, we are done with those goals. Not because we finished them and completed them, but because we were like, oh, we bit off more than we could chew. And then we feel bad and we shame ourselves, and nothing gets better. And so I think one of the best things that we can do to start out a new year is to pace ourselves. And we had these to-do lists, we have these goals, we have these expectations for ourselves. But if they're a mile long and we expect to do them all right off the bat, we're going to be disappointed. And so I think the healthy thing that we can do, especially if you're looking at spiritual goals, whether it's reading or praying or going to church or just simply having theological conversations or listening to this podcast, it doesn't matter. You can't consume it all in a day. And you've got to leave yourself room for, what's that thing we talk about all the time? Grace. That if you miss a day or you don't do it exactly like you thought you would, that's okay. That to me, that's leaving room for grace, but leaving room for the Holy Spirit to work in your life and be present in those spaces rather than just trying to check boxes, which I think is a lot of what we do in the new year with resolutions, trying to lose weight, trying to eat healthier, whatever it is. We're just trying to check a box so that we feel better and that we feel like we accomplished something. And then when we get to December of 2019, we look back at the year and go, oh, man, this was a tough year. I didn't get everything done I wanted to do. And it's because we tried to jam pack it all in at the beginning of the year. And that's a lot. It's just that space. Call it a holy space, if you will, for just life to happen.
Yeah. So I always, the one thing I always think of is that great question, how is it with your soul?
Sure.
And I think in order for us to really live a healthy life, we have to analyze ourselves constantly, but not stress ourselves out where that keeps us from really living the life that we're called to live. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is that, like, I think of it like basketball. And so I was thinking about this the other day when I was I'm coaching 3rd and 4th grade girls basketball. And so this has been a kind of a fun experience. And the thing I've been thinking about is, like, I'm teaching these girls that either have a small concept of basketball or have never played before, how to shoot a basketball. And so we've been starting small. And what we've been doing is we have them stand so many far apart, and we work on our form, and we work on our form, and we work on our form. And then we back it up a little bit and we work on our form. We work on we shoot the ball to the partner, back and forth. And then we put them in front of the goal, like right on the block in front of the goal. And we continue to work on so then I become hypercritical of them, what they're doing to get the ball up and out and looking like a good form, all the stuff that is in that. And it hit me the other day is that that's what we need to do in our lives, is that sometimes we have to do those small things, those little bitty things, and work on those well before we can do the big things. I wouldn't expect my girls to right now jack a 3, but within 2 to 3 feet of range, we're pretty solid. And a lot of that has to do with the practice that we do. And I think it's the same thing in life, is that when we work on those little things, it will only get us better. And that takes time, and that takes effort, and that takes some willingness to want to grow. But I also think that you can't kill yourself. The problem with starting a new year and you go with the idea of resolution is that it's almost too big.
Mm-hmm.
and it's almost too much that your schedule can't handle it. But what if it was something small that you could schedule in, and then that small thing led to the next thing and then the next thing, and until you find yourself at the end of December thinking, maybe you lost 20 pounds because you're willing to do the work for that. I mean, it builds off of each other versus just like trying to go big or go home. Like, I'm going to read my Bible this year. Well, okay, that's great. Why don't you just say, hey, I'm going to start by reading at least a book, start small. And it's a great place to start.
Right. And that's a place we have to start, right? But we don't do that well as a society. We don't do the little things well. We say things like, this year I'm going to learn to play the guitar, and we go and buy a guitar and we pull it out of the box. And when we can't play Stairway to Heaven out of the box, we put the guitar in the corner and let it collect dust. You've got to learn notes. You've got to learn scales. You've got to learn, all of these things before you can play guitar. It's those little things that we don't do well because we want instant results. We want these things to happen now. We want to pray more every day, but we want to be Billy Graham at prayer, and it's just not. It took him a lifetime, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we forget that it takes us a lifetime to accomplish some of these goals, some of these things, because they take baby steps. They take these little steps, and we forget that as a people, because everything around us is so instant. And so when something takes time, we have to remember to slow down. And these goals and things that we have as we start a new year, they may not be goals for 2019. They may be goals for a lifetime. And I think remembering that is huge and reshapes how we set out to accomplish them.
And I think that's it. I think as you prepare yourself for 2019, and as you think about yourself, ask yourself where you want to be, but ask yourself what's a manageable goal to get you where you want to be versus something that's going to be, you want goals that are attainable. You don't want goals that are unattainable. But also make them be goals that will challenge you and push you, and not just something that will keep you moving in a similar direction.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's a great thing to think about as we move into 2019. And so how are you going to manage your small goals? And so we would encourage you to go to our website and check out all the great things that we have going on our website. Buy some Bearded Theologians gear. We've got great coffee mugs and all that stuff. And we want to wish you a happy new year. And so we're looking forward to 2019. We've got some kind of cool things that are going to happen in the next few months. We're really excited about some of the things that are going to go on. But we're thankful for you. And so we want to encourage you to keep listening and keep sharing. And so for the Bearded Theologians, I'm Matt Franks.
I'm Zach Bechtold. Thanks for checking us out.
We hope you've enjoyed the conversations that we've had today on the Bearded Theologians Beardcast, and we'd encourage you to continue those conversations online at beardedtheologians.com or on our Facebook page. We also hope that you pick up a couple of coffee mugs to satisfy your coffee mug collection. Have a good day.